Welcome back to Therapy Session. Today I'm here with Sky. Welcome to the show, Sky.
Thanks for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
I'm a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, that's what I noticed when I came in, though.
Yeah, but that's how it is all the time with me, basically.
Okay.
Sometimes it's better than some other days. But
So
today
mostly
I'm a little bit all over the place.
Mostly you're all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sums it up about right.
But you have a time schedule for the things, or you just go with the flow and you remember, oh, that day something like that, something like this.
Yeah, today it was like, I have to make a calendar.
It's better, right?
Yeah, I have to check my calendars regularly.
Besides of that, I'm using my phone though. I used to have a small book with me, write all the things down, and I still forgot it at some place.
Mm-hmm.
So I have it on my phone. It's much easier though.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I have to I have to stick to
To a routine.
To a routine, yes.
Okay.
And it's hard for me to stick to the routine when I have one, because I don't know if it's ADHD or anything. But
yeah.
Probably it is.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's what we all have as artists.
It's like it's a common sickness.
Yeah.
If you can say so. Yeah.
Yeah. In today's world, nothing is a sickness. It's a condition.
It's a condition. Yeah. It's a Dauerkondition.
Yeah. So you've been working in the studio while I came in.
Mm-hmm.
What's the work about?
Today I recorded 3 songs.
Okay,
of
nice.
mine, which I produced, so they're already done in production. But the only thing that was missing was my voice and my recordings. So today was the first time I recorded my voice properly. Before, I used to go to the studio with other people for for whom I produced other songs. Also, like right now, a friend of mine is sitting in the studio and I wanted to record something with her. Actually, we already recorded it and we just wanted to listen to it again and check for some stuff we want to change or anything. But today, when I arrived here, was the first time I was here only for myself to record my stuff.
Nice. So usually you came just for the shows?
Usually before, when I went to the studio, I went there to record for other singers. I produced music for other singers. Yeah.
And today was for yourself?
Today was for myself.
Finally.
Yeah. Finally, yeah.
When was the last time that you recorded for yourself?
In November last year, 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was the first time and the last time I recorded.
Really?
myself.
The first and first time though?
Yeah.
Okay. To me, you make music for much longer. Like this, how it appears to me.
I make music since I'm 8 years old.
Wow.
Okay.
And how old are you now?
Now I'm 24.
Wow. Okay.
So 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did it come up with making music at 8?
How did it come up?
Can you just fix the mic a bit? Just yeah, perfect. Now you can chill now. Okay.
Yeah, true. So it started actually like my family was listening to a lot of blues and soul and old records, Tina Turner, Sting, Michael, Quincy Jones Productions.
Nice.
And
all the greats.
Yeah, all the greats. I grew up with them, listening to them. And then I was into drawing and dancing and writing small theater pieces when I was 6 or 7. And then my parents split and I grew up in a mountain village in Switzerland.
Oh, okay. That was my next question, where you're from, but okay.
Yeah, so I included in this answer. And then when they split, me and my sisters and my mom went to Cologne, Germany, from Switzerland to Cologne. And from that point on, I had to travel to Switzerland every second weekend because of the divorce agreement they had. I had to visit my father every second week in Switzerland. And in the village I grew up, there was a hotel and they had a grand piano standing there. And I didn't care for it at all until I was 7 or 8. And then I went to the hotel with my father to play ping pong. And then I saw this grand piano, and it was kind of like magic.
Then it happened.
It happened, yeah. I was drawn to it. I was like, it pulled me to it. And I approached it and I immediately started playing, and like I got how the piano works pretty fast. And the same day I started looking up note sheets. Like I started listening to Mozart and Beethoven, and I studied how they wrote their music, and then I started composing, and I was very much into classical music. Soon after, I got lessons from my piano teacher at that time, and continued learning classical music until I was 12 or 13. So for 4 or 5 years, I was trained.
It's incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, and it was a lot of fun. But I always wanted to write my own pieces and write my own music and improvise and do jazz stuff, because I was also listening to a lot of jazz because of my mother that loves jazz and loves especially Keith Jarrett, which is a great piano player. And then I quit taking piano lessons, and I started doing music myself. And then I started singing, and I started writing songs when I was 13, 14. And then I made concerts, solo concerts mainly, in front of like 100, 120 people. I did that with 14 until I was 15. And then I had my first girlfriend, and she broke up with me, or she cheated on me.
Wow, okay, that's painful though.
A world fell apart, and I was like, okay, fuck the world. I don't want to do anything anymore.
Okay.
I don't want to. Basically, I fell into depression. I didn't want to live also anymore.
All because of her?
All because of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, first love. It's
Okay.
first love, man. And I quit making music, and I was like, okay, what else is there for me? And I started going into film business.
Wow, okay.
I started studying film directing at university for a year until I realized you don't have to study filmmaking to make films.
Just make it.
Just make them.
You get a cam and do it.
Yeah, they don't know anything more than I do.
Yeah.
So I quit the studies, and I started at a rental house for film equipment.
Okay.
Cameras and stuff like that.
Working there and
working there for 3 months.
Smart.
Yeah.
To take advantage of the equipment.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I totally went into filmmaking instead of making music. So music was dead for me at that point. And then I started working at telenovela shows.
Okay.
Like in German, they're famous. It's like alles,
proper,
was zählt, unter uns, gute Zeiten, schlechte Zeiten.
Oh God. Okay.
Stuff like that.
Interesting though.
Yeah.
Okay. How old were you then?
Then I was 19.
Wow.
So 5 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
And then I did this for like 1.5 years, also through COVID. Like was those productions were the only film productions in Germany, and I think also in Europe, which kept producing, though COVID was happening all over the world. And so I could keep this job for like 1.5 years, and I worked myself up in the positions in the different departments. And then through accident, I got to bigger projects like Tatort. And I worked for Tatort, WDR, ZDF, like the German TV shows. And then also movie, like cinema movies, something for Netflix, something for Sky and Amazon Prime and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty wow. It was
Your CV
cool.
is like full of achievements all over the place.
All over the place,
Yeah.
just like I am. Yeah.
But that's incredible though.
Yeah, it was. It was.
So you feel, or you can see your progress and what you've achieved so far, right? Because some
Yes.
people, while they do it, they really don't pay attention to it until a certain age, and then they're like, "Wow, I did a lot, though."
Mm-hmm. No, I did a lot. I
Yeah.
did a lot.
That's great, man.
Yeah, and it was really exhausting, and I think I needed to do this stuff to realize
What you really want.
what I really want.
Okay.
Because I did film, I went through the whole process for 3 years or 4 years. I mean, there's so much more you can learn about filmmaking, and so much more departments you can go into and dive into and get to know. But for me, it was enough after 4 years, because I also had like a bigger project in Switzerland, which was pretty tough. It was a pretty tough experience doing this movie for 8 months, and it didn't get made.
Wow. So just working on it, and it didn't come out then?
No. It
Wow.
was a full team of people working on a 3.4 million studio film, independent studio film. And the day before we wanted to start shooting, and it should have been made in Croatia, in Switzerland, in parts of Germany. One day before, the producer just disappeared and said like the firm, the company is dead.
Just out of nowhere.
Just out of nowhere.
So he took the money and left, or
he took the money and left.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we were all standing there and like, shit, what's happening now? And we wanted to continue making the film with another producer, but the main producer who disappeared said, if you want to make the movie without me, you got to pay me 5 million.
But he already had 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was really crazy.
Wow. Okay.
After that, I had enough of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Like, film people are really crazy. Like,
trust me, it's all creative world is like that.
All creative world is crazy, but this project like killed me, man. It was so many lessons I learned, so much shit I've been through. And then I was like, okay, what is really making me happy? What is life about? I could die today, I could die tomorrow. What do I really want to do? And I realized it's not about me, it's about everyone who will or is going to live on this earth in the future. And maybe I can do something to provide those people I will never meet.
Something.
And I think the best thing for this is music.
Yeah. The feeling that goes through it.
Mm-hmm.
When you're down or when you're up.
Yeah.
Depending on how you feel. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So your story sounds like, because when I got to know you, it was just briefly, and I always have a feeling for the energy of the people around me.
Mm-hmm.
And I can kind of see who they are and how they are. For me, you're like an old soul in a young body right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that you already know a lot, and you obviously been through a lot and have done a lot. So when I heard you singing, I was like, his voice doesn't go with his age.
Mm-hmm.
It's like much more powerful. Mm-hmm. It's like you're already in your prime time of the 40s or something. It's just like a very nice voice that you have.
Thank you.
So, and you remind me of a conductor. Because like they're like, you know, all these crazy, they look like they have no idea of what they're doing, but they do it perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like in the most positive way that I'm expressing. Like when you look at them, you just try to pretend, but actually you know what you do. So
yeah, it's funny you say that, because I feel like that people see me as someone that doesn't know what he's doing, but I feel like things will fall into place.
Of course,
somehow.
yeah.
Like I don't really like if I have like I know there's a feeling which I'm gonna get. I don't know how I'm gonna get there,
but you eventually
things will
will be
fall
there.
into part.
You remind me of my art teacher.
Oh, cool.
I loved her so much because she was all over the place, and every time I spoke to her, it was just like briefly conversations with her. And I was still in contact with her for even, I think, 5-6 years after studies. But she was like doing other projects all over the place in Europe and so on. So, and I lost my phone and I lost all the phone numbers and stuff like this. But I loved her so much because she was like so crazy to me. And I was always like, when I was with her, she never let me be in the same room like the other students, because I was always talking too much. So she was like, your potential is so high, but you just let yourself be distracted so easily.
Yeah.
So from now on, you're just going to sit in the other room and start doing the paintings that I'm telling you to do. And that's it. I don't want you to talk to anyone. You have too many things going on in your head. And I was like, but you're like that too. She was like, yeah. But I still managed to like separate the things. So that was a very interesting thing that she said. And from that point, she gave me different tasks for our exams and things like. Well, in our class, I think we were 3 people who got special exams and special tasks. So when I did them, and we had to make a presentation, and then she always gave me. She never gave me like an A. She always gave me a B. She was like, I know how good you are. You know how good you are, but you don't put the effort in.
You can do better.
You can do better, yeah. For example, I was painting something and I never prepared myself in the presentation. I was just going with it. I knew why I'm painting it, so I didn't write anything down.
Yeah.
So she was like, you sell it very well. For other people in the class, you seem like you've done it perfect.
Yeah.
But for me, no, you're not. I know that you can do it a bit more better. So that's what I loved about her, though. So she was always like picky with certain things and with certain people. So some people, she was immediately was like, I cannot do anything with them. Just let it go. I know how she was also someone who was like paying attention to the energy of the people around her.
Yeah, she could see like when someone is just as good as they are and that's it.
Yeah.
And she could see like if there's someone
that was very nice.
Much potential in
exactly. So
I really want to have a teacher like this.
I think you're one of like that yourself.
I could be a teacher like this. Yeah. No, yeah.
That's why I'm getting these vibes from you, like her. And even when I had my art exhibition, and she came, it was amazing, the best feeling ever. That like many people came, I didn't care, but then she came along, and I was so happy about it. And then she told me immediately, I don't have to tell you the nice things. I'm gonna tell you what you've done wrong.
Yeah,
that's what I love.
Like, I hate compliments.
Me too.
I hate compliments.
Yeah.
I love those kind of compliments where people approach me and say like, what you did inspired me to do something. Yeah, that's a good proper compliment. Definitely. For me. If someone approaches me and says like, I love you, you're so great, I can't do anything with that.
This is nice though, but
it's
like
nice. Yeah, of course. I say thank you, and like I'm delighted that you tell me this, but I'd much rather I'd much rather hear someone tell me what they didn't like.
Yeah. But constructive criticism, like that's the good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing, but also
not just saying like this was shit. Yeah, okay, what is that?
If it's like that's shit, okay.
Okay, like what's the next thing?
Yeah. Tell me what.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was shit.
Why was it shit?
Yeah, because I had people like this. I was like, okay, I've done the song. I want your opinion.
Yeah. And
I was playing the song, and they were like, I didn't like it. Okay, tell me what you didn't like. I don't know. I just didn't like it. So this wasn't helping me in that moment.
Yeah.
But that teacher of mine, I was like, there are so many few people that are like her. That will really, sometimes when people say, hey, did you do anything new? Can I hear it? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to send it to you, but tell me what's shit about it. Don't tell me what's good about it. Because for myself, it's nice. That's why I put it out.
Yeah.
But tell me from your perspective.
Yeah.
And don't be like, I'm going to hurt his feelings or whatever. Because I won't grow like that.
Yeah.
So you just have to tell me straight off, like, hey, this wasn't nice, do it like this or whatever. Give me some input.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing about. So I assume that you're kind of like that.
Yeah, I am. I think I am. Like one session I had also here in the studio with Ayanda, a friend of mine, great singer. I wrote a song which I initially wanted to sing, but when I met him, I was like, his voice fits much better to the song than mine does.
Okay.
And we had this recording session here, and I was really picky with him. Like I told him, man, you're a great singer, but you have to do again and again and again.
Now I'm the conductor.
Yeah, and that was when I was conducting, like, because I really knew what I didn't like, and I told him immediately, like, I didn't like how you said that vowel or how you pronounced that word.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Of Dr. Dre.
I
I don't know if you heard any stories of his.
Yeah, sure.
But like that, some of his projects or some of the songs that he does with people, they never come out if he doesn't like the sound of it.
Yeah.
So that's what I heard when you go into the studio with him. He tells them, no, say this word like this. And then they assume that they say it like this, and they made 10,000 more recordings, and he's still like, still not like that. So just leave it.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that.
If you can't reach it, you can't reach it, and then the song is shit, you know.
In
But
your
it's
opinion,
all
though.
about sound. The words don't matter. It's about the sound. Like it's also like the percussive kind of style of Michael Jackson when he sings.
Exactly. Yeah. The
You
lyrics
don't
is
get
not.
the words.
Yeah,
You don't
exactly,
get the words he's saying, especially in like "They Don't Care About Us" or in, like others. Most of his stuff, it's about the rhythm, and
Definitely,
his voice is very percussive and stuff like that. But that's his thing. Like in general, for me, it's all about the sound and not about the words. And then I'm like a conductor, and I can tell you immediately what I don't like. And when I like something, I can't say anything about it. It's like, yeah, it's good, it's proper, it's done. Yes.
And you don't burst into emotions. Yeah, this is the thing that you just like regular, like.
No, I'm
nice.
like, okay, maybe a thumbs up or something.
I can imagine that, and I can imagine how many people are kind of frustrated with this expression, because I'm sometimes like, people show me stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's nice. They're like, what? Why don't you like? Why am I not surprised? I'm like, yeah, it's nice though. I like it.
Yeah.
But why don't you like explode and say, what is the greatest thing? I'm like, I don't know.
Well, sometimes I do that. Like when I really like someone hits a note or I hit a note, and I'm like, ooh, damn. Like then I'm going like, oh yeah, this is great. But yeah, only for people. I'm also like criticizing only people that really want to be criticized.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like the other day, I met a friend of mine who's probably one of my favorite musicians I personally know, and he showed me his new song, and he asked me what I think, and I did it kind of wrong. I mean, there's no right or wrong, but I immediately said what I didn't like about that song. I didn't say a single word
About what you like.
about what I liked. I only started with the stuff I didn't like, and then he was like, bro, I really appreciate you saying that to me, but for the next time,
start with what you like.
start with the sentence, and that's also for everyone who's watching this. Start with the sentence. If someone approaches you and wants your critique on something they did,
Your feedback in general. Okay.
your feedback, you just say, where do you want to go with it?
Where do you want to go
you
with
show
it?
me a song of yours, and before
I
I
get it, what you
criticize
mean.
anything, I ask you, okay, nice. Where do you want to go with it?
You know how that sounds like?
And then you start talking about where you want to go with the song. And then I realize, okay, that was
This is
your
what it's
intention
about.
all along.
Yeah.
So then I am more clear about what I can criticize and what I cannot.
which is true.
Which is totally true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I will criticize in the future.
That's
everything.
nice. That's a nice process. When people approach me, like I said, I'm very prone to the emotions of other people. So I immediately kind of have a feeling of what they might experience if I say certain things. So I adjust to the vibe that they have. And I say all the things that I like and what I might not like or what they could have done different. Because I never like to say, I don't like this. It's about, this doesn't suit me. Or this doesn't. And then I ask them, but what was your thought process while you did it? So I just laid it all out, and then I let them like, this was my personal. Now tell me what you thought about it, and then we get to a point in that. So.
Yeah. So you start with the criticizing, and then you ask what they felt.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I try to do it now the other way around. So I first start asking what was your intention, and then I start going into.
Because many people that I approach like that, because like this approach is like more of a therapist type.
Yeah.
They're like, tell me, how do you feel about it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I've known people who are frustrated with that question. They're like, first of all, I showed you the song. I want your opinion before I tell you anything. Because you're answering my question with a question, which is what I don't like. So depending on who it was, like I said, like I don't go fully, no, this was like this effect. I'm just like telling overall the general feeling of it. And then I asked them, but what was your intention with these things? For example, I have done a few songs and people told me, you know, the effect at that point, I don't like it at all. I'm like, you probably even still won't like it after I explain it. But when I listen to it, I'm like, this is the shit that I wanted to have. So, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I explained and I was like, at that moment, I wanted to drop it like this and have this effect on it, which is like, my voice is tearing apart, whatever. But this is how I exactly want it to sound like.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but I don't like it. I'm like, so good. Like, it's different opinions about it.
Yeah.
So,
you as the artist have to like it.
Exactly.
Because
like with a painting.
I make my music for me.
Exactly.
And if I don't like how I sound, you can say whatever you want. You can say, bro, this line was sung the best way ever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, you know? I have to like it as an artist. Because, yeah, I make the music I want to hear. Yeah. And everyone else is invited.
Exactly, yeah. And there are probably people who are like me. They will be listening. They're like, oh, this shit is dope or whatever, you know? So there's another song that I have not released. It's called Habits. So I made a test recording. A demo recording. It was a bit late. So when I started rapping it, it was like more with a calm voice. It's like, yeah, I got habits. I'm addicted to drugs I can manage. I did it like this. But in my mind, it was like, when I recorded, it was be like, yeah, I got habits. And then, so when I had the test recording done, the next day, I wanted to listen to it a bit loud. And my wife and my brother's girlfriend, they were there. They were like, this is nice. I was like, for me, it doesn't sound nice. For me, it's just like, I'm trying not to go too much high with my voice. And they were like, no, this is so chilled. We like it like that. So this was the first time that I was like, okay, maybe I should consider not to always go in with the full energy that I would like to hear. So that song, they were like, okay, put it on repeat. We want to, because some other songs that I have, they were like, this is too aggressive. So you would have to pick, okay, what's the audience gonna like?
True,
you know?
True. Yeah, it's a balance thing, of course.
But since then, I like the song. Like, I've listened to that thing 50 times, and I was like, okay, I know what you see in it. You know?
Yeah, it's like, I think you're right. It's also hard. You know, you can have an imagination of what your song should sound like, or your voice should sound like in a recording. But it's also a thing about finding your true voice. You can have an imagination of what your voice should sound like,
Yeah,
but in the end, it's maybe not the right thing.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and you should consider everything until you like decide on what's best for the song.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So how many songs have you written so far?
I counted recently the other day. I was going through all my songs I ever written, like even the shit songs no one is ever going to hear.
Okay.
And all in all, it's not that much. I mean, 16 years of making music, I only wrote 25 songs.
Wow. Okay.
But I mean, there was a gap when
Of
I was
course,
in
yeah,
filmmaking, you know. And
If you accumulate all of the years, maybe in your head is like there's nothing.
yeah,
But maybe you worked 25 days on it. You don't know to
Yeah.
write songs.
yeah, but it's different from time to time. Like now, when I started again making music in September last year, where this whole process was starting, like thinking about making it a career and going to Berlin, move to Berlin, get into the music scene and stuff like that. It's when I started writing songs again, and since then I wrote 4 or 5 songs,
Nice.
which are still in progress. Yeah,
Okay. But you have not released any songs so
I
far.
haven't released anything.
Wow.
Yeah,
How's it? The feeling that you have not released.
it's shit, man.
Yeah.
Especially since I'm really taking it serious making music, because I've been touring the whole open mic scene in
Yeah.
Berlin, and I got to meet a lot of people. I'm working hard to network, and a lot of people approach me and ask me if they can find my music somewhere, and all I can say is on Instagram, my short videos, my loop challenge videos and stuff like that. But there are almost no videos or recordings of me singing, and so
It's like you're a ghost in the music industry.
I'm still a ghost. So today was a day when I was like, okay, I have to go to the studio and record now my songs to hopefully release them soon.
You don't have any equipment at home?
No,
Okay. How come?
because I'm poor. I'm poor as fuck.
Wow. Okay. I like with your resume, I would not believe that.
I'm so poor, man. I have existential crisis.
Really?
Yeah,
How come?
because I made decisions that led up to this.
Ah.
You know, it was like in September I still had a job on
Okay.
a movie set, and
Just turn this one. Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
and then I realized like I want to do music, so I immediately quit the job. It was like, okay, I
Like
could
from-
die
from
from nowhere.
Just what? Okay.
From nowhere. For the people around me, it was like, what is happening right
Just
now?
like
with
the
you?
guy with the movie disappeared. That's what you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of. Not like this.
Yeah,
like
but
he,
okay.
He did bad, but I was communicating to the people. You know, I have this realization. I want to make music. I don't know how long I will live. I have this mission inside me that I have to fulfill somehow. So I want to do everything I can to follow this dream, because I don't want to wake up with 50 and regretting that I haven't done what I wanted to do. And so I quit my job. I quit my apartment. I got Arbeitslosengeld, welfare, and then I was like, okay, I can live from that, and I can also move with that money from Cologne to Berlin. I got a flat here. I got flatmates. I got a nice flat, but my welfare time is over now. So, and it's really hard to find a job, much harder than I thought when I came here. And yeah, I got no money.
But with your resume, can you not still approach certain areas of the industry and do a part-time there?
I did.
And?
No replies.
Wow. Wow, that's hard though.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of frustrating because if I would be in your position, I would be first like, okay, these are all the things. I would just put them on the wall, like imaginative, like just put it on the wall, say, this is what I all done.
Mm-hmm.
And I still get no job. Why? Like, I would not get it though.
Yeah, I think maybe, you don't hunt for things, you attract things.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I'm attracting a lot of good things right now because my energy is going towards something I really love, which wasn't the case before. And now a lot of good stuff happens related to music, and that's what I attract right now. But that's not something I can make a lot of money
I
with.
know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad, but I'm how you say, fortunate, not fortunate. I'm thinking positive. I'm
Okay,
a
yeah.
positive thinker. I never
That's good
like.
though.
I have a feeling like this is all gonna work out.
Of course. That's what I always think.
Yeah,
It's always positivity. Otherwise, you would just drown in depression and get
Yeah.
into a dark hole, which sometimes will lead to certain creations that you will do, music wise. Because when I was depressed and I came out, and there were a few songs that I wrote immediately, like within 3 days, I wrote 5 songs or whatever, because it was just flowing. Once I came out of it was like going into a dark cocoon, and then I was like, after a while, okay, this shit is too much. Now let's put my head up and see, because I obviously keep going.
yeah,
Otherwise, I would have been already end up dead somewhere. So
yeah,
if you keep going, just invest your time in the things that you love and want to do in your life. So
yeah.
it's not easy though, but yeah, you would have to somehow manage to get financially something.
Yeah, something somehow. But
Wow.
yeah, I will figure it out.
Definitely. Things will come along though.
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes it takes a few minutes, but once it's there, you will know it.
What do you mean?
Like sometimes you are looking for a job, and at some point when you're about to give up, 5 job opportunities will come to you. So
Yeah, true.
that's what I mean.
Yeah, like I think God has moves in His ways.
Yeah.
You know, like He's looking down. Not yet, man. Not yet.
Not yet.
Wait a little longer.
I have to tell you a story right now about that. Not necessarily about this, but like about keep going, because it's the most simplest thing happened. I had 2 gold earrings, and I went out with my wife, and at some point we got back home after, I don't know, we were out for 5-6 hours or so, or maybe a bit less. But when we arrived home, not before that, we went on the train, and then she was like, "Where's your earring?" And then I felt like this one has fallen off at some point. I was like, damn, like, where could it be? So going back through the steps where we've been, and then to the restaurant, and going back and forth, I was like, okay, like maybe when we came out of the flat, at some point there fell down. Went home, still nothing. And I was like, okay, I think I must have lost it in the train. Like, let me check every train that drives this route. Was a tram, like,
Yeah.
so my wife was like, really, you gonna do that now? I was like, yeah, because I love these earrings.
Yeah.
And like
Those you wear right now?
no, it was golden earrings.
Okay.
Let me get to that. So I was like, we bought it in our country, and like I've been searching for this until I found these earrings. It took me 2 weeks because I was going through all the stores, and I was like, no, I don't like it. Until I found this one. I was like, now I have to find it.
Yeah.
So back and forth, and she was like, okay, as you like, then go. Good luck. So I was calculating in my head, if the tram from here till there, it will take that long. And then in the meantime, I will, calculate back and forth. I was like, you know what, I'm going to drive the other direction because there's, I think, 2 stations, and then it would have to drive back. So I went from train to train, and I didn't find it. And at some point when the train was like stopping, and I approached the driver, and he immediately was like, hey, it's not time yet. You will have to stay in the front. I was like, no, just 1 second. I have just one question. I was like, how high is the chance to find an earring in one of these trams? He was like, what kind of earring? And I had the other one. I was like, is that small? He was like, if you're lucky, tomorrow someone will be like at BVG and you can check there. So, okay, you know what? And then I calculated, I think I was in 15 or 20 trams or whatever. So I was like, forget it. Let's just go home. And I was like, but let me go through this one also, the last thing. And then I hopped on the train and I just went through all the seats and it was on one of the seats, the last seat. So I found it.
Wow.
Incredible, right?
Wow. This is really incredible.
Yeah, and then since then I have it at home. I think something of the thingy is not
That's your
right.
lucky earring.
Yeah, it was my lucky, but it's the second lucky earring though, because before that I had other earrings, silver with stones in it. It was brand new. So I was wearing them and then went to a supermarket and so on. And then I arrived home and I noticed one of them is missing. Like, damn, what could that be? So I just traced back the whole path and then I found them in front of the store. So
Wow.
this is just like, for me, it's a simple thing. It's a small thing. But for me, it's like, it always matters how much work you put in something. And how...
Yeah, if you really want it.
if you really want it, you will get it.
You will find it, yeah. And in the moment you want to give up, then it will, like the clouds are lifting.
Exactly. It's just like when you said, and then God will give it to you.
Yeah.
It was like that moment. He was like, okay, I've seen you.
I've seen you suffering enough.
I've seen you work for it.
Yeah.
Now let me give it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen you work and I've seen you suffer.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
So...
you deserve it now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I always believe if you run the miles, you will eventually get to the finish line.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorite quotes by Martin Scorsese is it's not the most successful, not the best people that succeed. It's the most patient.
Exactly. Yeah, with the endurance and the work ethics that you have, that you put in, and then you will get there.
Yeah. And I really hope this is it will work out for me.
Definitely, I'm sure it will.
Because everything is working. I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy I found DNA. I'm so happy I get to know
How
all
did it
these
come to that?
people. How I met DNA.
Yeah.
It was the first week I came here to Berlin.
Okay.
I immediately checked online for all the open mics, and it was a Saturday, and
Nice.
DNA popped up, and then I went here, and I was like, "Oh, this is a really cool place."
Okay.
And I immediately fell in love with all the people.
Nice. So how long you're a part of DNA now?
Now 3 months.
3 months.
Only. But
Okay.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. They give me a lot of opportunities to perform, to grow,
Nice.
to
have your space.
to
express yourself.
to have my space. Yeah, to grow my music family also.
Yeah.
Because I think as a musician you have to grow your family,
Definitely.
and this is a perfect spot for it.
That's why we made the song "Welcome to the Family," the anthem.
Yeah. Welcome to the family. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like, I manifested it, I manifested before coming to Berlin, like I'm gonna grow my family here.
Nice.
And now I'm here.
That's lovely though.
Mm.
So for you're a free spirit. You grew up mostly peacefully, is that right?
No.
No? How did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in a peaceful village.
Okay.
Because it was, you can look it up, it's called Bergün in Switzerland. It's near St. Moritz. It's really up high in the mountains. And for me, that was the whole wide world. There's nothing more than those 200 houses and goats and cows. And that's it. And my father is a kind of a difficult person. He's a crazy narcissist. And that led to a lot of struggles in the relationship of my mom and my father. And also in the relationship of my father to my sisters, which are not his daughters, but the daughters of the ex-husband of my mom before my father. And yeah, it was a lot of trouble. Like, I can't remember all the stuff. My oldest sister, she doesn't remember anything at all. It's just like someone vanished her memories.
Sometimes it's better like that, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone erased her memories. Yeah.
Mm.
And then also moving from this small village to a big city in Cologne was difficult for me when I went to primary school then and there. I didn't have a lot of friends. Actually, I only had one friend who went away to Hong Kong in second grade. So he was also gone. And then I had like music. I really went into piano playing and writing classical music, and no one at my age could relate to that except for me. So yeah, it was difficult until I went to what's it called? The next school, the gymnasium. What is it called? College. Yeah. So from fifth grade onwards, I made some good friends, which I have until now, and yeah, I learned socializing and stuff like that, because like as a child, I mean, it's hard when you're 6-7 years old and you have to move from a small village to a big city. It's a lot for a kid. It's a lot. And yeah, it took some time until I settled down and I could like recalibrate my brain and verarbeiten, to process all this stuff that was happening. Yeah, but it was beautiful and struggling.
But you're still in good contact with your parents?
With my mom, of course. With my father, not.
Okay.
Because plot twist, my father was a producer that disappeared.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, in Switzerland. I went to Switzerland 3 years ago, after I collapsed on a movie set in Cologne. I called him up and I told him, like, I'm in a hospital right now. We didn't have much contact before that, but I was thinking, like, I have to tell you. So I told him, and he was like, yeah, come to Switzerland. I'm working on this film project. Maybe it's more easy, more chill. Yeah. Then I went, and it was not more easy, and it was not more chill. It was really, really exhausting, mind bending, and but I learned a lot. I'm so grateful for him. And yeah, I'm so grateful for him that I got the possibility to learn all this stuff, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have ended up here. Yeah, because probably if he didn't run away, if he wouldn't have run away, I would still be in Switzerland working in film. And I know now that this is not what I really want to do, but only because he went away. So yeah.
Sometimes the pain shows you more than the joy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I saw him.
Okay.
So I never heard from him again, and I think I will never hear from him again.
Okay. But you're on good terms also with your sisters?
My sisters are the best, yeah. I love them.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, they're both older. I'm the youngest. One is gonna marry in a month. I'm gonna sing. I have to write a marriage song. Yeah, and I'm gonna sing it when she walks to the altar. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my oldest sister, she lives in Berlin also. Yeah, she's cool.
What does she do?
She is head of human resources for Oatly.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the other sister?
She is working as social worker for disabled grown-ups.
Nice, okay. It's amazing also.
Hmm.
That's a nice background though.
Yeah.
Through pain we grow.
Through pain we grow.
And we survive the harder times that come in our head. And maybe because you've been through that, you now have the endurance to keep going right now with even not having a job and
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, imagine you would have not been through these steps and you would go through it right now. You'll be just like devastated probably at some point.
I'm pretty calm right now with
Yeah.
my whole situation because there was much worse stuff going on
Of
before.
course.
So it's like, yeah.
Exactly what I mean. Like sometimes some things are not comparable. If you have been in the dungeons, then
Yeah.
you come up and then you say, there's nothing though.
Yeah, yeah. For someone else in my position right now, it would like maybe a world would have crashed.
Definitely.
But for me, it's like we'll get over it. There are probably 60 more years I'm gonna travel the world. So
Definitely, yeah.
So right now it's like, yeah.
So there's another question I ask now. Everyone is, what's your sign?
My sign.
Yeah.
Aquarius.
Aquarius, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Dre is, I think, also Aquarius.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are a lot of people. Today actually is the birthday of my biggest hero.
Who?
Charlie Chaplin.
Oh yeah, we are born on the same day.
It's your birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Thank
man.
you.
That's why I like you, man.
See, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really funny because he's my hero. Like my
Really?
Yeah, I grew up with him. Like
Nice.
when my father wasn't there, I used to watch a lot of Charlie Chaplin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was the friend.
He was a friend for me, and
Yeah.
kind of a father figure.
The friend who didn't speak.
The friend who didn't speak. Yeah,
Took the action but made you laugh.
yeah.
That's lovely though.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, anything now that people could be excited about from you to come out? Like, when is the time when people are gonna ask you, can I listen to your music? And you'll be like, yeah, this is my Spotify or this is my whatever. When is it going to happen?
Now we have April 16th. I hope end of May, maybe in
Nice.
June.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
So everything is set up. Like, I mean, it takes time to set up everything.
Yeah.
To do it properly. So yeah, I think at least 1 month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're not going to take my advice, but you can at least hear me out. Is don't sit too long on the things. Like, if you have it, don't polish too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
at a certain point, just let it go, let it fly.
Yeah.
So it can grow, and then you can take on the next project that will be much more amazing.
Yeah.
So
I'll take that advice.
that's great, because sometimes we get stuck in a loophole and we think, okay, no, this one must be perfect. And then the creativity will leave us or will transcend to a different person because you're not going to pay attention to the rest of your creativity.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think for most stuff, this makes sense to not like overdo it.
Exactly.
But from time to time, a project comes your way, which your gut tells you right away. This is something special.
Yeah.
And like, I come from film, Stanley Kubrick, for instance, when he made a film, he was aware that his films or his art is gonna last for ages. So he really paid attention to the detail, because when it's done, it's gonna be out there forever. And then it has to be as good as possible. So sometimes as a musician, you come across a project which you like feel, okay, you have to really pay attention because it's gonna be out there forever.
Definitely.
And then you have to do the best you can.
I've been asked what type of music or what genre or who I could compare myself to. And I always say it's not easy because I do it with influences of others, but I do it my way. So I don't have a hit song, but the things that I do, they're more like conscience rap. So it's something that you could always go back and listen to. There are a few bouncy songs that you just like to listen for a month, and then after that, okay, it's done. And then maybe in 5 years, you'll be like, hey, that was that song. Let me listen to it. But the rest of the things, I go deeply into the things that I want to express with words. So some of them I tell myself is timeless.
Yeah.
but some people have not seen it so far. And once they're there, then I'll be already on the next thing. So that's how you sometimes have to approach it.
Yes, totally agree.
So I hope to listen to your songs soon
I hope you will.
on the platforms, and yeah, I know there's much more to come. More than 25 songs though.
Yeah, I hope so. A lot more.
Yeah, I can imagine. And maybe we can get into the studio once, and then
I'd love to, man.
then
I'm open for every genre.
And me too. And maybe it will give you a different input, different vibe, and you'll be like approaching things from a different way. Because every time when I went into the studio with someone, I've noticed how they approach some things, and then I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I either take it or like leave it. So that's amazing.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I like your voice. I love it. So why not, man? Let's do something.
Thank you so much. I like your voice too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I love your performance. I love your raps.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You have a presence.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I can only give it back to you. And I was paying attention to how you play the keys. I wish I could play it like that though.
Yeah. Thanks.
But
thanks.
There are some people who can do it, and I can just watch them and enjoy it though. And
yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Because sometimes I put my keyboard on silence and just play with my mouth. Yes, whatever. Like I'm just doing it, and I'll be like, imagine I could play like this, and then I turn around and I just bow down. You know.
That's funny. Maybe I do it the next time when I go on stage with the piano. I just mute it.
Yeah.
And I just go.
Thank
you so much.
You're welcome. It was lovely to have you.
Thanks. Lovely to be here.
I'm happy that we were able to manage to finally meet, because we were writing back and forth, and
now it luckily happened. Although I'm all over the place, but
no, that's a good thing.
Yeah. But
it all takes its place.
I might be all over the place, but I'm still a reliable person.
Definitely.
You know? There are people that are all over the place that are not reliable, but I try to be as reliable as possible.
You can change that and say, I'm all at the right place.
I'm always at the right place at the right time. Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have you though. And looking forward for your projects, and we're gonna link everything that you currently have down here as usual, and applaud to you, and see you behind the cam again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Bye guys.